Hello and welcome back to the Spoiler Cast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. However, today we are going to have a big spoiler warning before we get into spoilers, just so you know, it's that kind of movie. My name is Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusted co-host Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello! Today we're talking about a newish movie, came out like a week or two ago. Yeah? It's one that I feel kind of has flown under the radar because it's a streaming movie. Yeah.
Actually, it came out about almost 3 weeks ago now.
Oh, jeez. Okay. It's one that probably will disappear because there was very little promotion, and that's kind of why we want to talk about it. Because spoilers for the rest of the discussion. It's pretty good, I suppose.
Yeah, it is.
Today we're
you were just making sure.
Yeah, exactly. Today we're talking about the mysterious thriller Caddo Lake. Yes, starring, of course, Dylan O'Brien, and what was the girl called?
Eliza Scanlon.
Scanlon. Yeah, exactly. It's about a girl who disappears on Caddo Lake, one of Texas's few real lakes, natural lakes.
Looks more like a swamp to me, but sure.
Yeah, but it is. I guess it's technically a lake.
Yeah.
And this kind of sparks like
chain reaction.
A chain
of
reaction
random
of
things.
of past disappearances and deaths. There might be a connection between them. And more than that, we won't say. And Dylan O'Brien and Liza Scanlon start digging into it to try and figure out what the heck is going on Caddo Lake.
I always want to say Lake Caddo, but it's Caddo Lake.
Caddo Lake, yeah. It's written and directed by Logan George and Celine Held.
Yes.
Two people I don't recognize the name of. Have they done anything else?
They
have done some stuff.
Yeah.
They worked on Servant, so yeah, they are M. Night Shyamalan alumni.
Which is why he produced this movie.
Yeah, exactly. And they, as I guess, they've worked on exactly the same things. So I guess they're
a duo.
They're a team. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it's always Logan first as directors, and no, it's not the same here. I said on one of them at least. It's like, Logan's the director first and then Celine, and then on the writers it's the opposite. No, it wasn't on that one.
Maybe they're even like a family, because I see a picture here from the premiere of another movie they made, or a short film they made called Caroline from South by Southwest. South by Southwest. I couldn't say that. And they're holding a bunch of children, so I'm guessing maybe that's their children.
Could be.
I haven't looked. There's no trivia, so I have no idea. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, they put this little movie together, and M. Night Shyamalan said, "I'll produce it, and we can sell it to a streaming site." And even though the movie will flop, which it probably would have, I just get that feeling. If this was in theaters, it would have flopped. They can still make the production cost back, and everyone can get paid. It feels like that kind of a movie. Like they had an idea. This obviously comes from some sort of. I'm not going to call it a passion project, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, they had this idea of the thing.
Yeah.
And then just built on that.
Yeah, they
probably for a while.
Yeah, they had the idea, but the thing was like, I get the feeling that Shyamalan's producer brain kicked in and said, "This is never going to get greenlit for a huge budget and for cinematic release. It's just isn't that kind of movie, but we can make it on a smaller budget and sell it to streaming sites." That's the feeling I get, and they're like, "All right." That's not a detriment though. Because, like I said, we haven't even talked about that yet. I'll tell you this before I ask you. I like the movie quite a bit.
God, my chair is squeaking, if you can hear that. Sorry. Yeah, no, me too. I thought it was great. I thought it was... God. I also am biased because I love Dylan O'Brien, and he's finally in a big role again.
Yeah.
Even though it's a small movie.
Small movie, yeah. Yeah, and I like him. I like him too. So I'm glad to see him do more stuff.
And one of my favorite movies of all time is one that M. Night has only been producing and never actually, like, he wasn't directing it. We've said that many times. Devil.
Ah, yes.
The elevator movie.
This could have been part of the Night Chronicles.
Yeah.
Just like The Watchers could have been. They could just put that. I don't know. Maybe it's a legal thing or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's just like, well, it was 14 years ago. Let's not
bring that up.
Let's
again.
not confuse people. Yeah. But I mean, this is basically this and Watchers. Even though I didn't really like The Watchers at all. This is it's the rebirth of the Night Watch franchise or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's little mystery movies.
I feel like this one could have done
character stuff
so well though if they just promoted it more.
There are a couple of things.
It's not scary. The trailer is kind of vague, but it's vague in the good way. Like, it's mysteriously vague.
Yeah.
And it looks good even in the trailer.
Sure, yeah. That's why I wanted to check it out.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing obviously bad about it.
No.
Compared to Watchers that had this weird premise that... no, it didn't look bad either until you actually watched the movie, to be fair.
Yes.
So I guess that's... It looked cool, that one too, but then it just wasn't.
That one completely falls apart in the end. It becomes schlock.
Yeah, but that's because of the lore they threw in there.
Yeah, this one
They keep the lore
yeah,
straight and kind of simple.
Yeah, the plot and the lore, as people like to call it, is kept vague enough that it doesn't get in the way, but also it's enough there for us to, like, we're invested in the mystery.
Yeah. I also love how they don't actually straight out say the words, really.
Yeah.
They just show it, and they're like, so I did understand it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and that it in the end reaffirms what you kind of suspected in the beginning, that this is really a character-driven story. It's about the people. It's about the trauma.
Yes. It connects.
Yeah. Why I think this, because it didn't get great reviews on Metacritic.
No.
First of all, it only has seven critic reviews. Once again, because nobody knew when the movie came out.
No.
It has a 55, so it's average, slightly above average.
Yeah, lowest is a 40.
Yeah, and the best they got is a 78 from the Wrap, saying it's intelligently crafted and falls together quite well, despite a narrative that turns complicated quite quickly. You are safe in writer-directors Logan George and Celine Held's hands. Sorry, they've thought it all through. Yes. However, what I think is the weakest part, and what I think a larger audience would not like about this, is that it becomes very confusing in the third act.
Yeah,
and it's very stressful. Throughout the entire movie, it's not a super long movie. It's like an hour 40 something
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a movie that definitely could have benefited from a bit of a slower pace.
Yes.
It could have been just about 2 hours. Like, add 20 minutes to the runtime, where we have more character stuff, because we're introduced to all the characters, but almost immediately the search for the little girl starts. And I mean, even before that, the mystery from the other side of it, so to speak, the Dylan O'Brien part of the story, has already kind of started. And he very quickly starts, like, connecting dots to his mom who died in a car accident.
Yeah.
And when without spoiling anything, when the mystery starts unraveling, and some crazy stuff starts to, like, show up, he's never, like, questioning it, like, what? He just immediately okay, so this and this and this correlates. It all makes sense. Are you sure, Dylan? or Paris, as he's called? Are you sure?
Yes, Paris.
This all makes sense to you? Are you sure about that? But he goes with it, and of course, he's right.
There might be an explanation to that, sort of. And also, I think it's just, wishful thinking kind of thing. You just goes, yeah, I just needed an answer, and this is the answer I'm going to go with. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. But then
it's one of those things where I don't care what the explanation is. I just need an explanation. As a person, I mean, not in a movie.
Yeah. But imagine if he kind of questioned what he's first found. He never questions it. He just goes with it immediately. If he had
true.
like a couple of scenes where he's like, no, it can't be. But then he finds another thing that confirms his suspicions. He's like, oh shit,
Like when he notices the pattern, he just goes, there has to be a logical explanation for this pattern, right? Like it can't just be that. And he spent a few moments researching that pattern more until he goes like, there's no other explanation. There has to be a connection somehow.
And there could have been a little more focus on his girlfriend, whatever her name was, from Houston.
Yeah.
Estelle? No.
Celeste?
Celia?
Celeste? I don't remember.
Celeste.
Something with a C-E.
Celeste.
Well,
the other ones are Ellie and Anna. It's Celeste, right?
Yeah, but she has a nickname as well.
Oh, right, because, oh shit, whatever.
Shut up.
Her name is, it's another name,
Celeste. Celeste is her real name.
Hey! I guess it is, but...
yeah, it is.
That's... spoiler!
Is it?
It is... Oh. Maybe, okay, you know what?
Let's start talking. Wait, how long have we been talking?
I think we're gonna have to start doing spoilers then, because... How long we're
like 10 minutes.
We're 10 minutes.
No, but we can talk a little bit more about the technical stuff.
Okay, yeah, we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that.
Yeah.
First of all, the acting is great from everyone.
Yes.
There's
including the kid.
Yes, no award-winning performances here, but everyone is good. Everyone is taking it seriously. Everyone gives, convincing performances.
Yes. There are no like super deep monologues or anything that could also warrant like award-winning performances. Really,
the
they're
big
just
award speech.
normal people here. Really.
Yeah. I guess it's also one of those just like I wish there was more focus on the characters in the beginning and not going so fast into the mystery. I get the feeling that. Without the mystery part, this could have been like a great, like southern drama, like
slice of life.
my child's gone. Well, you're a drunkard, mom. Hey, don't say that about me. That kind of movie that could have won Oscars.
Yes,
but then I had to put a damn sci-fi fantasy mystery in there, or horror movie, whatever you want to call this. I'm not really sure what it is. Not really a horror movie. Well, a little bit.
Shut up again.
Yeah, sure. But imagine if we had longer, because that's also like the editing. It feels like this was, like, once again, the producer side saying like, we need to cut this faster. We need to get this down to 90 minutes. We need to sell this hard. I would have loved more scenes of people just sitting around, not doing
like when
anything.
he talks to his girlfriend in their not finished house.
Yeah, exactly. But
more of those scenes.
More of that. More with
more
the mom.
of the family dinner scenes.
Yes. More of that. Because that's the first like 20 minutes, and then we're kind of done with that for the most part.
Yeah. Speaking of cutting, I watched this on the Max app.
Yeah.
There were 2 times in the movie where it cut so abruptly and strangely that I thought there was something wrong with the video file, basically.
I don't know. I watched it on my browser on the computer, but I didn't notice anything. Is there anything you can mention without spoiling?
No, I don't remember exactly what happens. It's I just went, that was abrupt. That was a strange cut. Like they had cut out a scene or something, and they didn't blend it properly. Like, how it's, even if it's a quick cut, it's never really. Like there's some sort of transition, like a minimal transition. You just didn't have that.
You usually have some sort of establishing shot, like you're cutting from them in the house, like, oh my god, my daughter's gone. Cut to him in his house. You film the outside of the house, then you film him in the house.
Yeah.
To kind of we've moved places now. Now we're here.
Exactly. There were 2 times we just had absolutely nothing happen. I'm gonna see if I can find where that was, because it was at one point when he was talking to his girlfriend. I think it was when that scene kind of ended.
Could it be because of what happens that you?
That's what I'm wondering.
They kind of wanted to, I can't say more. Damn it.
No, I know, but I'm trying, Jesus Christ, because the thing is, when I watch it I watched it on my pad, on my tablet, so you don't really see what time it is. I just saw what time was left, which is annoying.
You're watching movies on your phone? Get real.
No, on my tablet, on my...
You can't watch a movie on your fucking phone.
Right, here it goes.
That's a David Lynch reference, sorry.
Just after, during the family dinner, I think it is, and that's when it cuts back to him and his girlfriend, they're just in the kitchen, and then quick cut to Paris and his girlfriend in his like caravan or whatever he lives in.
Bad.
There's no... it's at the 1730 mark. If you want to look it up. There's no establishing shot. There's no like smooth transition. There's no not even like a millisecond of a black screen in between. It's like when you cut YouTube clips together and you just don't do a transition.
Well, there can't be a black screen in between because then that
no, but you know what I mean. Like there's always this like you can blink or something, but there's not even a blink. It's like right there. It's so weird.
I think it's on repeat watch is supposed to signal that it's
something has happened.
It's different.
Yeah. Possibly yes.
Yeah.
I thought of that. I was like, they only use it twice though, which is kind of strange.
Yeah. Well.
That was like my only issue, I guess, because I was like, is this something they did wrong? Because it looked so out of place.
No, like I said, the the editing is pretty frantic throughout the movie.
Yes, that's true.
So that might just be that it felt extra jarring in that moment.
Yeah, probably.
I also couldn't really. That's not really a bad thing. But it's something I noticed. I couldn't really place where the movie was supposed to take place. It takes place in Texas, which you find out later in the movie when they actually start mentioning Texas. And I mean, they mention, I gotta go back to Houston. I mean, this could still be a neighboring
Could be in
state.
another state. Yeah. That's fine.
Because Texas, you usually think of Texas as it's in the south.
Horses and cattle.
Yeah, first of all, it's much more dry. You think of Texas more of a desert state, which it's. Yeah. I mean, and. Yeah, it mainly is, but this is one of like 3 actual lakes in Texas. And Texas is pretty big. But yeah. But also the fact that it always felt kind of overcast and raining, and you never see that in Texas movies.
That's true.
It's not very characteristic for a movie taking place in Texas. But hey, I mean,
Texas does also have coastline though.
Yeah, of course. Yes, it does.
I never thought of, if I'm being honest.
No, yeah, because the state is so big, and I think most people live more inland.
Yeah,
on the ranches. But either so and since like you mentioned, they're in a swamp basically. So I was like, is this like more? I don't know which way to go. Like, is it more like Louisiana or?
But it might be on the border of Louisiana.
Yeah, it might be because they're a
Yeah, they are.
They are
for partially at least.
Okay, so that might be more it. So you think like New Orleans? I mean, it had a little bit of a True Detective vibe with how it looked, and I mean, it's a mystery taking place in a swamp. It's a very True Detective season 1.
Yes.
Well, I guess that's where the similarities end, but aesthetically, it was very True Detective season 1. But I mean, that's not a complaint. It was just like, oh, this is Texas, okay. Fun though that they didn't make up the lake. Caddo Lake is a real lake, like one of like very few real lakes in Texas.
It is. I'm sorry, I just had to look. It is close to the Louisiana border.
Okay. And we can discuss that before we get into spoilers. Also,
it's the next one that I recognize. The next big city I recognize is Shreveport.
Shreveport, Louisiana. Shreveport, Alabama.
Technically, I think. Yeah, that's part of Louisiana. Technically.
Louisiana, okay. Yeah, because Shreveport is it's one of those names you recognize.
Hey, Lake Caddo actually crosses over the line from Texas to Louisiana, so that's why.
Makes sense. No, wait. I was gonna see because also since they
that's Karnak. I found Karnak.
Yeah,
the city they're in.
That's also kind of funny because Karnak isn't that like a name of like isn't that the realm of the dead in Egyptian culture? Karnak spelled Carnac. Karnak, isn't it?
I don't know that actually.
I recognize the name.
There's a commune in France called Karnak with C's.
Karnak.
Karnak.
Here's where. But what I wanted to look up more than that was, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Karnak with K's is a temple in Egypt. So
that is a temple.
That's probably what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
But spelled the same way.
Okay. Caddo Lake. I wanted to find out if, since they picked a real lake,
yeah,
is Caddo Lake known as like a place where a lot of mysterious things happen? And that's why they picked it. I didn't look into it, but just googling it now. The one thing I found on Wikipedia,
I just got a bunch of fishing stuff.
the one thing I found on Wikipedia is that the Texas Bigfoot is connected to Caddo Lake. It says, since 1965, Texas Caddo Lake has been the center of hundreds of alleged Bigfoot sightings. According to the North American Wood Ape Conservancy, NAWAC, this was reported in the Travel Channel 2006 documentary Bigfoot.
There is a radio show that talked about the mysteries and legends of Caddo Lake, tales from this enchanted swamp between Louisiana and Texas.
Okay, yeah. Wait, was it a podcast? It's a radio show?
It's a radio show, I think. KPEL 965.
Oh, wonder if you can find that on YouTube. That would be interesting.
They talk about the weeping woman of Caddo Lake, Cypress Cindy, the lake monster of Caddo Lake.
Ooh.
Ghostly reflections in the water in general.
Okay. So maybe that's why they chose, like, there's actually an air of mystery about Caddo Lake. So that's why they picked it instead of making up a song.
Stevens disaster tragedy turned to legend. In 1869, when someone...
Huh?
Wait, what? The Mitty Stevens must be a place. Caught fire while traveling on Caddo Lake, resulting in the death of 64 people.
Maybe it's a boat?
And now they haunt the lake's waters.
No. Okay.
And yeah, a lot of people are obviously getting lost in the swamps because, hello, look at it.
It's a giant swamp, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, with weird trees and shit.
Well, so now you know.
Now we've dragged it out.
Exactly. Now you know a little.
No, but we didn't like finalize what we thought of it. I still think it's I thought it was a really good movie. I watched it while working, which is usually a mistake. Either means I don't pay attention to the movie, or it means I don't pay attention to my work. This case, I didn't pay attention to my work.
Okay, yeah.
At all.
Yeah, it was.
So if anyone I work with heard this, sorry.
It immediately grabs you.
Yes.
I gotta say, the first, although I might have I saw it wrong, because the first scenes of the movie are Dylan O'Brien waking up in a car full of water.
Yes.
And then next to him, I guess that's supposed to be his mom, right?
Yes.
But it looks like a little girl. I thought, and I was just immediately, oh my god, more children dying? Haven't we had enough of that in October?
I think I mentioned to you also that there is something about a little girl going missing or something. I mean,
that's the main story.
FYI, so. Be warned.
Yeah. But yeah, it like we said, since it moves at a pretty brisk pace, it quickly gets into the mystery, and the mystery is the main drawing point here.
I both like and dislike that it goes quickly into the mystery, because sure, you'd like to get to know the characters a little bit more maybe, but at the same time you can't wait too long when it's this kind of a movie.
No.
Because then it's just like, okay, so you're just gonna find her and then it's done?
Yeah.
Like, you need to spend time looking. You need to make people desperate, basically.
And once again, I feel that, like, no disrespect to Celine Held and Logan George, but I feel this movie, as good as it is more content than it is a movie. Like we said, like it's quickly edited to make sure that you don't click off and watch something else, keep watching The Office or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, yeah, it's relatively short, so you don't like get bored and start scrolling on your phone instead of watching it. Not that that matters. As long
No,
as it's
I
on,
like
you
when
know.
there's about 140 long. That's
Oh yeah,
the
sure. I don't mind. I don't mind that
length
either.
for
But I'm
me.
just looking at the formula here. It's
Yeah.
prime like streaming platform just fodder. Now it happens to be pretty good,
Yeah.
but in the end, it's just to fill out. You know, oh, we need some more content. Yeah, we'll give you $10 million to make your fucking movie.
Yeah.
Which is sad. Because I think this had the potential to be better.
Definitely.
Not that it
but
was
I still
bad,
think
but it could
it's
have
a
been better.
really good movie.
Sure.
I haven't rated it yet, but I'd probably it's not a 5-star.
No.
Obviously, but it's a 3.5 for me at least.
I was thinking about a 3. I saw a lot of people actually gave it like 3.5s and 4s on
I was thinking of 4, but
Letterboxd.
there are some issues that when you talk about it, you realize more.
Yeah, and like I said, it wasn't impactful enough for me to be like, oh, to feel it in my, except for the end. But we'll get to that.
Yes. So speaking of the end,
Spoilers from here on out. Major spoiler warning, because this is one of those movies.
Yes.
Because it's a
we
big
are going
mystery,
to talk about
you know.
everything. We're going to reveal the mystery straight away. We're going to talk about details. We're going to talk every detail, basically.
Yeah. So you have been warned. From here on
If you
out,
haven't seen the movie, stop.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
and then
come back.
of course. And if you don't come
Finish the
back, at
episode.
least, you know, leave a like, leave a comment, tell your friends and family. Check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakescene.
All that good
All that stuff. But now, spoilers. You have been warned. Spoilers.
Yes.
Now, when Dylan O'Brien